Hello, game design students. Thinking my picture is kind of in the way of things again, but I just wanted to check in with you. I am looking at Unit 6, Lesson 2. If you are, you're also looking here too. So I just wanted to make sure you're aware that in Lesson 2, you need to actually follow some steps at the end of the lesson to add some sound components to your space program. So I just wanted to make you aware of that and just kind of run through it myself. So as you read through the lesson and get familiar with the different sound assets, you'll get down to the bottom and we'll see a step 1, import your sound asset. So I've already done that. I basically took all of my sounds from here and I drag them into, I made a new folder, game music, because I like to have things in folders. So I added plus, I created a new folder for game music, and I dragged these sounds that I had gathered from way back in Unit 4 when you were gathering sound assets. So then if I jump back to the lesson, I did that. I created a new entity over in the hierarchy. So I clicked plus, and then I didn't, you don't need to choose any of these types of entities. This is going to be an invisible entity. So it just showed up as new entity. And then I'm going to name it. It said to name it BG Music 1. So I will do that. So when I click on that new entity, the spot to rename is way over here, which wasn't very obvious when I first started. So I'm just going to name it BG Music, actually no spaces, 1. There we go. And the reason we're attaching it to, or just creating an invisible entity, is because that background music is going to be playing throughout. It's not going to be attached to any object in our game scene. So now I'm moving on to the next step, which is to add that sound component to the entity. So this is what you need to do. I'm clicked on the background music entity, and I'm going to click Add Component, and I'm going to click Audio Sound, not Audio Listener. That'll come later, I think. And then from there, it references using slot 1. So now in the asset picker right here in slot 1, I'm going to click the edit. It says it's empty right now, so we're going to click and we're going to put that game music, the game music right here. And now it shows up in slot 1. Let's just take a look. Kind of looks like that. And then they're giving you directions to click on autoplay, loop, and adjust the volume. So that's the next thing I'm going to do right over here. So now I've clicked on autoplay, loop, and the volume. We want that volume lower because this is background music. We don't want it to drown out the game sounds. Then the last thing I need to do is make this a template. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to add a new template. And now that background music shows up right here, so that now it's going to show up in all of my levels. That background music will show up in all my levels that I create. And the last thing I have to do is test it out. And I test it out. I think you probably can't hear it, but I did need to click on the screen to make it activate. That's all for today.